Okay, so this is a screenshot of the video that I actually saw here on YouTube. It's a screenshot of one of the photos that they had of this woman. I may very well come on and talk more about it as I get, because the video is like an hour and so long, because it's basically giving the history, telling her story. The picture I can tell, has been altered in some way. Um, but look at her. Get that head. Look at that forehead. Look at that head. Look at that nose. Look at them cheeks. Look at them lips. Look at the chocolate. Obviously, even in black and white, obviously you can tell she brown, 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 brown. Is that me? Now, I know this is really, it's really taboo. It's really out there, but so this, if this is just too much for you, the whole idea and thinking about something like that, that's okay. Like, one of the gentlemen I'm following, he repeatedly said that like 4 times on one of his podcasts. He's like, if you're not ready, there's no shame in that. He's just like, and he just says it. He's like, it's okay. It's okay, but don't come. Basically, he said it's okay, but don't come for me because you're not, because you're not there. You're not ready to deal with the unraveling of life. You're still holding for dear life to the illusion. And that's, it's because we all get where we get when we get there. And that's, I think, why he said it. So I'm going to say the same thing. This kind of stuff is too much, it's too out there for people, some people. But for those of you who you know the deal about this so-called human experience and what's been happening basically over and over again, then it's not outlandish. It gets trendy where you see everybody's claiming I'm Cleopatra. It's like it gets weird, it gets ridiculous, it gets okay. Everybody, no, bitch, no, nigga, no, you wasn't, nigga. You was probably, what I'm saying. Anyway, it gets to be too much because it starts to sound like everybody's trying to like make themselves whatever. Okay, but whether the person was a fluid or not, it's like it ain't too far off for you when you know that what's been happening over and over again. Your consciousness being stuffed into meat jackets over and over again. Okay, so for me to have the idea that that's probably me is not out there. It's not too far out there for me because this probably is me. I wouldn't be shocked. And if what they said about this woman is true, then it makes sense for me now. It makes sense. Like when I was listening to the story, I was like, oh, she was smart. They erase that from you though when you get put back in a meat suit. So, but if you start to tap into the remembrance, it's encoded. It's in there. It is absolutely 100% in there. Your whole experience. She was beautiful. I gotta read. I gotta listen to the whole story. Like, how did she end? People kept getting, her lover got killed on the way they were traveling. So, like a phobia with traveling may have to do with the loss of a lover. she was traveling with the lover, then they secretly murdered him, and then she got captured, and it went from there. And then anybody that she would come in contact with, like, that would want to actually help her, ends up either dying or disappearing. So she writes about it. She talks about it. She wrote to, like, I gotta listen to the full video. It's a long video. So I'm like, oh my God, am I listening to my own life? If that's true, if it's true, that's some trippy shit. This was 1800s. And I remember I had gotten a reading from somebody way back when I was in Nevada, and this person was a trip, but she said something happened to your lover in a past life. She said the 1800s. She was like, something he can't find you. He can't find you. The 1800s, he can't find you. But she was like, but I forget this, because this has been like maybe 2019, 2020, if that. And she was like, something happened to him. And then she was like, who is this chick? Who is this Queen of Wands? I remember her saying that. And back then, I didn't know. I hadn't put any pieces together yet. So it wasn't like I was sitting there like, yeah, that's my woo-de-woo-de-woo. I wasn't. I was like, I don't know. Because it was still new. She's like, this Queen of Wands. She's like, who is this? And she was like doing the whole thing in front of me. And I said, I don't know. She's like, is it a family member or a friend? Who is this? She was like, they're jealous. I was like, well, I don't know. Could you be more specific? She was like, yeah. She's like, they're jealous. And I was like, okay. And just, let her continue, because it was still new and fresh to me. But she talked a lot about the 1800s. That something had happened to my lover. He died. Something happened to him. Somehow, some way, he disconnected and can't find me. He's trying to find me. I think he may have found me now. Maybe. It's a possibility. Like, unofficially. Because the reason why I'm saying that is because, why did this come to me? Like the whole video, because it wasn't just a picture. It was like a story about her. And when I saw it, the first thing I thought, I was like, what the hell? Because I knew something, me being kind of like a techie, I'm like, oh, something's altered, but she wasn't, like, I guess she was from an affluent family. She actually wasn't supposed to be. She wasn't a slave. She was born to a free woman, and she herself was a free woman. But traveled with the lover. The lover gets killed. Then they capture her. And then this is high bidding. It went into high bidding for her. Everybody wanted a piece of her. And
awesome.
The story is saying that it wasn't just to do with, how the slave trade was going on and, okay, good workers and stuff. It appeared to be a different kind of obsession, something else behind it. More than just because she was beautiful and kind of, they said that she was refined and intelligent. So they ended up putting her inside, but the masters and whoever like started basically making a problem with her, told her it was going to be a problem if she if she kept making problems with saying shit, basically. That she was going to have to be a field slave, because she wasn't. They had saw she was refined, so she wasn't. But they was like, okay, you keep on at this, saying shit and being intelligent. Sounds familiar? Keep on saying shit. Keep on being intelligent. We're gonna put you outside with the others. But she wouldn't have no business being a slave. And fascinating. So her story, she starts journaling, writing like the nation's leaders, because she was seeking help, this entrapment. And no one would. There was a doctor that ended up trying to help her that had an interest in taking care of slaves who gotten sick, but he was trying to help her, then his ass ended up, like, people kept either dying or disappearing. Anyone who, you know, saw the truth and attempted to help her in any way, shape, form, or fashion, sounds familiar? And ended up dead, or their asses disappeared because they was possibly fearful of being dead, you know, or you know, banished or put away somewhere, you know, as to not be able to continue, because they would help her and then they would, you know, would try to, or there was plans that they would do things. And then I'm telling y'all, that's what the video said. I'm gonna listen more to the rest. I think I'm halfway through. 1800s. Who is she? It's me. Someone's like, damn, that's just, she gone, bitch. It's okay. It's a wonderful, I tell y'all, it's a freeing moment in time when you slowly get there, when you slowly stop caring about what motherfuckers that don't matter think. Because all this crazy making shit is starting to look real stupid. Who's crazy? The stalker, the stalky, or the stalker? People get into those weird things. Oh, they believe in that, you know, they believe this, they believe that. Yeah, but at least y'all ain't believing in being weird and killers and shit, being fucking weirdos. So they're stalking bitches, stalking dudes, talking about wooty woo. It's like, okay, sure, whatever. Whatever you say. See, I started expanding my mind in 2018, but I believe that I already came here with the level of that. And I started being open to expand beyond what I was told since ever I was in this meat suit this go around. That perhaps true humility is realizing you don't know shit. Perhaps true humility is realizing that maybe the shit you know is limited, and maybe there's far more to everything than what you have ever fucking been told. That's true humility. People be thinking humility is walking around with your head low and pretending like you fucking, you know. You know, I'm so meek and humble, and I just give all the glory. They think that's what humble means. It's fake humbleness. Humbleness is not a lack of confidence and strength, you know, in oneself or one's gifts or talents. It's realizing that, hey, you know, I bleed like the rest, but it's also realizing that for as much as I know, there is even much more that I don't. And with that helps me to be open, because I don't have the benefit of the narcissistic arrogance, where I got this shit on a lock. At least I think my grandiose make me think that I do, nigga. Shit. My grandiose and my little house and my little car. You know, got my smelling myself. My grandmother would have said that. Who is she? Is it a possibility? Can I prove it scientifically? No. It's a whole lot we can't, though. Huh? Just like we can't prove who has given us the stats of anything, can we? Can we? Can we? Huh? Okay. Oh, I get it. Oh, I already been down the rabbit hole, and I'm still going down it. Because I'm like, every day it's like something about that. Can we? Oh.
Don't do that.
What if? See, there's some things that I'm even pondering now that it's got me a little bit tripped out, but I'm gonna allow myself to go there. I'm gonna take some time with it. The possibility.
But
you know, we hear the stuff starseed, right? You hear a lot about starseed. I may very well be Palladian. I may be Palladian. I may be a half breed. I might be I might be have some other shit, and then I went rogue or something. You know, that sounds like some shit I do. I swear it do. It sounds like some shit that my ass would do. I could be someone that is half breed, and I don't agree with the tyranny. I don't agree with what, let's say, one side of who I am, those that lineage. I don't agree with the abuse of humanity, or you know, the abuse of any of it. And so, in other words, then I went rogue, where I'm of no use, in a sense, to that side of me. The other side, I'm of no use because I'm too foreign to them. Then they're afraid. Ain't that a trip? It's trippy. Sometimes I let myself go there. I'm like, oh, that'll make so much sense, bitch. It makes sense. Yes, bitch. Now I get it. Which would also be the fascinating thing about how things may end up unfolding, because if that's true, then oh boy. Oh boy. Who is she? Try not to get too just look at just look at the gaze. Like when I look at pictures, by the way, let me say it this way. I know, like, some people look and you're just looking technically at the aesthetics alone, but I'm actually looking more. I'm looking more than that. Look at her face. But look at her, how she holding it. Y'all got to follow me. Look at her, her expression. Look at her, the skull. Look at the structures, the eyes, sockets. 1800s. Now, somebody's gonna say, "Oh, none of it. That's fake. The whole shit." Okay, We can all argue about that kind of stuff all day, every day, and all find some confirmation bias on it.
So I tell me, it's people from God. It's no GameCube involved. It's no Wii.
I laughed when I first saw it a little bit when I looked at her hair, because I was like, that ain't her shit. I was like, they put on this picture, they put a wig. They put a wig on the picture. They gave her a weave in the 1800s. You know, so I joked, but it's a pot. Now, then I opened up. I said, well, let's just wait a minute. It is still a possibility, because they said she was refined, that she did not live in the typical. So then it won't be that far off if you go there, because if she was refined and she didn't live like in the slavery stuff and stuff like that, that means she had all of the things that maybe the wealthy had, which means she would have had the means to do stuff with her hair and take care of it, to grow or to whatever, because she was not poor. She was not originally poor or originally impoverished. So it's not that far off. It's not that far off. But I laughed because I'm like, oh, it's like, is that why we be like leaning into certain stuffs? Like when you look at either your phobias, your likes, I'm like, is that why I went into like different looks, and it became like, for longest time, like signature looks, and I would like stick with it, bitch, forever. Like, you know, it makes me wonder. Was I remembering something without remembering? Is that why I leaned into it? Look at her head. Look at her chin. Oh my God. Anywho, I thought I would share this. Once I finish the video, I might end up coming back talking more about it, seeing if I can find any more data clips. I'm going to do a little bit more research, but I'm very curious. Her lover, her husband, I don't know, they didn't say what they said, her lover or mate or something like that. Did they say her husband? I have to go back. They may have said her husband, or that they mentioned him as a him, and that he I don't know if it was on the train that they were traveling in, he ends up dead. And they end up capturing her. Sounds familiar? See, what we don't realize is a lot of the stuff that we are dealing with now is exactly the same thing, just in a different timeline. Almost exactly. Like, we look at some of the events we experience, may not be all the way 100%, but it's like versions of it, you know. Entrapment, always trying to entrap somebody in situations, and then in that entrapment somebody gets sick, somebody dies, somebody you know, come between lovers, and then the lover dies, bitch. They put the lover, like, it's always some weird shit, you know, be some weird shit, some karmic whore come along with swear ass, and you know, or vice versa. And the next thing you know, bada bing, bada boom, you know, the motherfucker end up sick, dead, in jail, decapitated somewhere, and then, you know, yeah. Designed that way, huh? Why were they trying to separate her from that? Why did they kill old boy? I gotta listen to the whole shit. Cause like, why they kill dude? Was it to get to her, to capture her? so that she would be vulnerable, so that she wouldn't, you know, especially in that time, and you know, in the 18, especially in the 1800s, so that she would be up for slave trade, and because she had no business being no goddamn slave. Was that what that was? Because they knew she was refined, and she came from a bloodline of something like it was something about her. And the Arab, all the slave buying niggas. I had a couple of motherfuckers look at me crazy. I don't care. We go through the same thing now. It just looks different because we're in 2026 versus the 1800s. Laws are different, things are different, technology is different. So the manifestation is more passive aggressive. A bunch of sellouts always are at play. Those are going to always be the NPCs of any dispensation. Those are the sellouts of any dispensation, the NPCs. Always. They don't have a badge. In other words, they don't know that's what they are in some cases. But selling out, you know, to me, I'm like, I don't know why it's hard. You selling out shit, nigga. That's selling out. It's like, This is elementary, my friend Watson. Why did they, you know, it's the vulnerability that they keep trying to create, you know. So maybe there was too much potential between the two of them. You know, he was protecting her, she was protecting him, or maybe, you know, as a unit, who knows. And so it's like, okay, 1800s, we can, you know, we need to get rid of his ass. Just, yeah, because if we can't get him to sell out, then we need to kill him. Shit. Is he willing to sell out? No? Well, he has to kill him. Or tie his ass up in some kind of prison, jail, and might as well be dead. Make him a vegetable. They still do that to this day. You don't get to see it. To you, it looks like somebody just had a misfortunate event. To you, it just looked like somebody maybe had bad genes and got sick, maybe a struck. Oh. To you, it looks like somebody just couldn't get their life together and just was all over the place, because you don't get to see the players behind the scene fucking with the motherfuckers. A lot of framing happens, more so than it did back then. Run somebody's life, set them up. Simple as that. Easy peasy. Don't let them have had a history. Don't let them have had any kind of a, you know, rough upcoming or addictions or, you know, oh, because they're going to run that. They're going to run that. They're going to run that, baby. They're going to run every youthful indiscretion, and in some cases old, you know, because sometimes the trauma of people's life take them down interesting paths. in terms of, you know, drugs, alcohol, partying, nightlife, you know. So it's gonna really, y'all see it yet? Got the picture yet? They don't show what they do behind the scene to terrorize a lot of these populations. That's the part that the world don't get to see. That their efforts are being thwarted, so it's making them discouraged as they try to go and get clean for the 13th time and try to become, you know, hopeful for a career and some stability or whatever it is that they're told, as the rest of us are, that you're supposed to fucking chase for the rest of your life, supposed to drive yourself a ragged bitch and not nigga. And as they try to go as they go trying to find and establish that, as it gets thwarted by haters and walk-ins and step-ins and handlers and informants and jealous niggas and bitches rando. That's what we, the world, we don't get to see that play by play. We just hear the stories, oh, how they just can't seem to get it together. They just don't know how to take care of them, how to make good decisions. We love them. Shut up. Lion horse.
So that.
But that's what they do. They create a statistics. They create that. And the very people that these people end up, you know, trying to reach out to for help are the very informants and handlers that are used to expedite it. They're gonna have a surprise this time. Yeah. Because see, what they do is use these people as so-called, these are the helpers. I'm going to put it in quotes, air quotes, helpers. I wonder what happened. It's funny, and how in the last few weeks, I have had some very interesting dream space shit happen that I'm like, what the hell? Different. It's different. I've dreamt of some folks I hadn't showed up in dreams in at least a year or two. So, because even now, like, there's people like attempting to get in my energy, an archon or one of their trash bags. It's funny, I can tell. Interesting. Via thought forms. And also via visceral sensation, I could tell. Anyway. E. Showed up in dreams twice. in 2 weeks. Two weeks. Different than ever any of the dreams I'd ever had. And I had many over the years. I met E in 2019. In this timeline. We're in 2026. So quite some time, huh? Some crazy shit, but I ain't finna get into all that. In the crazy land of lost Vegas, LOST. I think I made a pun on words. I was like, yeah, lost Vegas. Lost, LOST. Lost. Shit. Go out and get nutty. Fuck around with the wrong motherfuckers. You're trying to get cloned so you can get your name up there and likes and shit. Because you want to be successful. Crazy. Shit crazy as hell. I want to be successful. I want to be a failure. I want to be a failure. What blood do I have to share? What innocent life must I give? Oh, please. Oh, please. Anyway. I hadn't had dreams like that of him before. Not the last two. They were different, way different. One, I think I told you all about, I couldn't see our bodies, which was weird. It's like, how I know it was us? Like, it's like, I couldn't see our bodies. I could only hear us have a conversation. I'm like, what the hell is that? Anyway.
Uh-oh.
Then the next one, I saw him. We passed each other and something with our hands looked, shit, bitch. I don't know, he looked, I looked, something with the hands, and then something shit. It was very little verbal. I think there was like one word exchange, just one, maybe, between him and me, and just some kind of move and shit, bitch. It was like, and then did something, I don't know. I remember waking up, I was like, what the hell? Don't ask me why. I don't know, because it's not, this stuff is old. You know, I've long, as it pertains to that person, like I long moved on, he long moved on. So this ain't, it's not like that. It really isn't. So it blows my mind too, because you know, when you do go on about your life and you go in all these years and things of that nature, you go, okay. Now, the fascinating thing is, I will tell y'all this, strange and unusual things have always happened as it pertains to he and I, though. I will say that every blue moon, and I really never understood it. So I kind of just kept living my life, because it was like, okay, you know, he would call like jobs, and I would know I'm talking to him, and it would be something strange that would happen on the phone. I promise y'all, it would be something strange that happens on the phone. This happened to us like twice, at least 2 times. At least. Long after this is us and we ain't dealing with each other. But this happened at least twice. And every time I can remember, each time on the phone when I would hear him, because somehow, some way, he would either call my phone or my job. Don't ask me how that was possible either, bitch, but it was. And I would know it, and for whatever reason, I would always laugh. I would start laughing, and not know why. And then he would have like a subtle, because he really wouldn't laugh like I laugh, but he would have like a subtle, he would say something. Anywho, fascinating, but I've accepted that there's much to this life that I don't know. It doesn't matter how smart I think I am. I've accepted that. It's okay. It doesn't make me feel some kind of way about my smartness, because there's, it's no, bitch. It's a little narky to think you got it all figured out. Doesn't mean you're not smart. It means you just realize that what other possibilities, what is there possible? We have just accepted everything as is because we came here and that's what they told us. And I'm just gonna call that, okay, on GP. And if we're honest, if any of us, because especially for the people who like to claim that they're being honest, okay, then that means we got to be honest about all of it. And I'm talking science. I'm talking everything then. Because at the end of the day, if it's not you or I in the lab ourselves cooking up some shit, putting some shit under the dam, bitch, and your earth, then we're simply taking still second, third hand, fourth hand, fifth hand, sixth hand, seventh hand, eighth hand, ninth hand, 10th hand, however many hands were, because they put it in a periodical. They typed it up, they put it in something really nice, and they put some percentage signs on it so that you got charts and colors and stats. And I'm a science fucking geek, so I'm not anti. I'm simply saying, if we really wanted to go there, then that means we'd have to look at all of it. And some people just are not ready to do that because it's comfortable. It's the comfort. There's comfort in some of this stuff. I can acknowledge that there's a comfort there, but we don't know though for a fact. Somebody's gonna say, "Yeah, because when I this and that." Okay, but that's kind of everything. Hit and miss, trial and error. Well, the statistics say, because they told us that's what it say. If I go buy something right now at the store and I look on the back of it, it's going to tell me the ingredients of whatever that is if it's food, but it really doesn't mean that that's what's actually there. I hope that I want to trust and believe that that all this shit's integral and but I don't know. Neither do you. I don't know. I wasn't there at the place in which it was cooked up, manufactured, packaged.
Really with you?
Anyway, uh, no, it's not my son that I'm laughing at the archons and they bitches. It's still the same. Slavery is still here. Oh, I know that's controversial, but it is what it is. Different version, different timeline. Some are still repeating because they are not ready to deal with the truth. And then you got people who are, doing this process of stepping into sovereignty and taking the hell that comes with it. Because it's no, this is hell. This is not what people think it is. The only ones that really feel different are possibly on the payroll of certain individuals, beings, groups. And so to them, for them, carnation after carnation, being stuffed into meat suit for groups to benefit, for beings to benefit off of your pain, your suffering, while looking like they're trying to help you. Epitome of an abusive relationship. Highs and lows. Just try harder. Just hang in there. Future faking. We need to watch you struggle a little longer. We need to make some more money off your pain. We need to make some more money off of your suffrage. We need to buy some more time because, you need to buy time. Hopefully you'll just get old and die. Not before you do. I finally figured out why my accounts have been shadow banned and why it's not as productive as it once was. As a result of me following one of the gentlemen that I still am subscribed to on one of his platforms, him sharing what has happened to him over and over again and listening, the way his content has and continues to help, I'm like, oh, snaps. So it's the opposite. And now it's all making more sense. It's not to say there isn't, platforms that are large and doing something good, but he made a very strong point on one of his private videos that he had. And he basically was like, the system don't mind intellectualism because with intellectualism without activation, it's just information. And they don't mind, people talking for hours about shit. And, if it's not clicking something on inside of the listeners, they don't really care. I was like, damn, when I sat with that, I was like, oh shit. So he was like, the information could be true and accurate. He wasn't saying like that whoever delivered, like it wasn't valid or it wasn't, that's not what he said. He said the reason why a lot of them don't get dinged is because there's no activation. It's just yet something else to get people, it's just one more other thing. But in terms of activating actual, like clicking on sovereignty or remembrance or any of that in people, that's what he says system is terrified of that. And so that's when everything will start getting flagged, to shut her down, to shut these content creators down who is speaking anything with any kind of frequency activation in what they're saying, or any kind of content, that it won't be long before their shit is, it won't be long that is shadow banned, if it's not altogether taken out, but it's like basically blocked. His keep getting taken the fuck down. Like, I don't know what, and he don't say bad words or anything. Like, he ain't leave like me. Like, that's why I'm like, how the fuck? Because he don't even get, like, I don't think I even heard a video where he's emotional. The way, like, you can tell he has passion, but it's like you don't really see him. He's just even killed. He's just, that's why I'm like, how is that? How? He's not a vigilante. He ain't saying nothing like, oh, you see what I'm saying? Like promoting. He don't have none of it. He don't have none of it. None, and I mean none. So why then? Why? We see all kinds of stuff in social media that is definitely banned worthy, and they still here. So if his content, if his channel wasn't full of like vile language, if it wasn't like hate speech, if it wasn't like vigil, they call it extremist, where it's like trying to get people illicit together, like those kind of groups. If his stuff, him and his team, then why? I'm sorry, I'm gonna answer that, because that's don't make sense. For 4 times, bitch, nigga. For 4 times, nigga. 4 times. What is it? Because it's not like we don't see creators with various different religious beliefs. It's not that we don't see creators, talking about their methods of whatever. It's that's social media. So then what is it? What are we afraid of? If he ain't even disrespecting, like he did a video where he explains, he's like, this is not supposed to be an insult to your ancestors or your culture. Your ancestors saw and knew the truth, and then things get, due to the system, like you have to follow his stuff to get into his, I don't want to get too deep in his shit and misquote him, but so he's not even, you see people going to bat on social media and you don't see them taking down that shit. Oh, the debate, this one versus that one, and whoa, and wasn't that bomb? Oh, you know what I'm saying? All you see that, they ain't taking down that. So it encouraged me, actually. It's like, oh, okay, I get it now. It's actually the opposite. If I was trash, he said folks that's carrying a frequency will be put illegally on a watch list, will be targeted. Yes, he did. And made out to be something that they're not. And that's because there's a fear behind what's possible. They don't care about trash being all the entertainment. Come on, man. I don't know where people's heads at anymore. Come on. All the shit we see in TV and media, you mean it to a Negro? Please. There wouldn't be no comedians. 0%. I'm just saying, because I love comedy and comedians. Got a lot of faves, big time. But they wouldn't be if it was about, that's that, that information. Oh no, that's subliminal message there. And what they just mixed it in there, throwing it in as a jokey joke. They wouldn't have none of that. It'd all be being shut down then. If it was so, we don't know. We need to watch that. There will be no rappers. Because we need to watch that. They're promoting hatred of the law and hatred of women. We need to watch that. You don't hear none of that, do you? Anywho, got off track with this, but that's okay. Some of y'all, this may resonate. You may have a video, a picture, or something that's clicking you to your sovereignty or remembrance of another timeline. Just like right now, I'm working on a lot to do with phobias connected to previous deaths. So that, because I'm ready to face my murderers. I actually am. Because all they do is try to continue to recreate that trauma to keep you in those loops over and over again. And so whether it is, whatever your phobias are, and it could also be the way in which they're harassing you now. So she was entrapped, and so was I. See it yet? She was entrapped and captured while trying to have a relationship. Seems like, based on what I've heard so far. She sought help with the authorities to no avail. Sounds familiar? That's what I've done. They probably gaslit her, crazy made her. Future faked her. because of money. There was money. She came from something. And these people didn't want to let her go. They won't let me the fuck go. One way or the goddamn other. That's what happens when you ain't got nothing else to lose. That's what they create. Basically, people wanted to keep making money off of her dime, off of her life, being in prison so that they could have. Is that not what slavery was, niggas and bitches and niggas, respectively, in the cosmos? Is that not slavery? Is that, if you a nigga, hear me and hear me good. Is that not what they did to your ancestors, nigga? For shame, driving around in trucks with just cigars, blowing smoke out your truck at a 135-pound woman and a disabled man. You ain't shit. Negroes ought to be ashamed of themselves. Sitting up there getting high off of, my name mean, your name mean, you full of shit. That's what your name mean. We get high on shit. It's like stupid. Sitting here participating in the same slavery thing. I'm doing something. You're a fucking colonizer. So go ahead and tell your little Tiffany and little Daquan that they mama and daddy is the fucking colonizer, and that's what their future grandkids have to look forward to. Is that not what slavery is, as you beg them motherfuckers to give you a contract in Hollywood? Is that not what they did at the expense of your people so that they can be wealthy? Did we forget? Let's make it simple. It'll help us remember real fast. Because that's the simplicity version of it. They enslaved for they whole stank asses could have shit. Hello. At the expense of your life or your ancestors' life, if you're a nigga. Being impoverished and limited, and you were supposed to just sing and sing praises and go to church, bitch. That's what you're supposed to do. It was that way then, and it's that way now. Why they feed off of your pain and suffer. Jesus loves God. Are you really? Okay. If you say so. while a select ones get the comfort, and then the rest get the suffrage. Fucking colonizers. Just like your masters. Self-hatred so far in deep is a goddamn shame. That's why some of these motherfuckers are able and willing to sacrifice and try to bondage and enslave their own, because of their own self-hatred, and it's vomiting on them. They want to be masters so bad, and they ain't even nothing to it. Fucking, I don't know what the fuck. It's a spell. So you want to be a killer. See, that's how I look at this shit. Okay, so you okay. You want to be a killer then. That's what you aspire to be. That yeah, that's what you want to be. That's what you want to be. You want to be a murderer. You want to be somebody who murder kids, disabled people, old people, so you can have an Escalade. That's what you are. They don't like this talk now. Some might not, but it's unnerving. Because we done fancied this stuff up so much, we lost touch. We think we different, than no, it's the same shit over and over and over again. It's the same shit, and it's always just a ragtag team of few, always, in every dispensation. Same story. You always got the ones that's the Esau's and the Judases, you know. An old boy from the Matrix, I forget what his name it was. You always got a whole lot of them motherfuckers. And we lying to ourselves straight cold through our teeth if we pretend like we don't see that, because we see it every day. We see it in the news, we hear it in stories, we hear it in people's lives. It's more common than we want to admit. You see it in the workplace. You definitely see it in social media. Sell out. That's the new normal. That's the new normal for a come up. That's the new normal. That's the new slavery. That's the new sell out, two-faced energy. People that was selling out then, and it's people selling out now. People wanted a bowl of beans at all costs. They didn't care about the bondage. They didn't care about the beatings, as long as if Massa, made a nice, little cool deal with them, maybe one less beating and give the other the more brutal beatings to the ones who's got their own fucking mind. In her story here, they had said that anytime, I got to go back to that part too. Like I said, this is over an hour and a half video about her. Like the sabotage that would take place anytime anybody got a bright idea. Like she was only able to get maybe one or two people to actually attempt, and then something would happen, and then, you know, the sabotage, that was this, but that's the same shit in slavery. You know, then that's still happening now. Anytime people got the bright idea, there was always informants then, nigga, and there's informants now. There was handlers then, and there's handlers now. And the motherfuckers walking around saying, listen, that's why I say what I say now. Because these people, whatever this is, they ain't gotta do shit no more. They think we all a joke. They can get you to do it, to do the job for them. They ain't gotta do shit no more. They gotta do shit. All they gotta do is give you a Tesla. That's all they gotta do. That's all they gotta do. So whatever your chosen car is, that's all they gotta do. He's selling out. It's like all the other selling out. That's why they being the toxic energies that I'm referencing. Okay, that's why they think we're buffoons. They do. They think we're all buffoons because we'll kill each other. They sit there shaking their heads like, yeah, we crazy. We know we crazy, but we ain't selling ours for a contract. They are. You ain't gonna hear too many stories like that about us. But we can get them to go hard. Crips and Bloods, religious and spiritual. Politics. We can get them, stir them up good and plenty. Play all their insecurities, jealousies, and insatiable desires. Colorism, chocolate versus light. Oh, let's have some fun with that. They say to themselves, buffoons. Look at them, jump. Jump! Jump, monkey. Don't be mad at me, because this is not me calling y'all that. That's them. Jump, monkey. Go, yes, go ahead, sell out your own blood, your innocent blood. This ain't even like it's something that's deserving. They, you know, go ahead and cover up your trash and sell out them for your bowl of beans. Go ahead, jump, monkey. And then go around talking about praise God and all that. They said buffoons. Go around talking about all that shit, and we sit back and laugh at you because it's like, look at the buffoons. They talking about testimony, they shouting, they running, and then we come over there and we get them to do some fucked up shit to their own people. Okay, praise God. we know, yeah, we know what they like. We done studied their asses. We know what they like. They like sitting up debating and talking testimony, and they got a wood and all of that, and then take their nasty ass right the fuck outside. You know what I'm saying? Do some crazy shit. 5 seconds later. They say, buffoons, look at them. He loves shiny shit. Yes, that's motherfucker. You know, motherfucker ain't had shit. Okay, look at him. Anything for it. Anything. You tell them to go ahead and drive this little disabled motherfucker nutso, and they dumb buffoonic asses is willing to do it. Ha ha ha, they say, and they look at us like we're the bad guys. You're doing it to yourself. How are we to be? You're killing your own. You're killing your own. You're killing your own. What do you mean we're the bad guys? You're doing it. We didn't hear you say no. We didn't hear you turn it down, man of God. We didn't hear you turn it down, woman of God. Yeah, we see you got your bracelets and your Ankh symbol and your crosses and all your other stuff, but we didn't hear you turn it down. Well, because you tricked me. You said that this was something, that this person was evil and that this was something of God. So essentially, you're telling me that you don't have a mind of your own. So we are still correct, buffoon. I didn't say it. They are. But they smile at you. See, the insidious part about narcissists, the world greatest actors of all time. It's all about what that objective is, so they can play whatever role to hook you into destroying yourself and all your people. It's still here. Too much independent thinking, free thinking is something that is punished. Does that not sound like slavery? I'm going to help somebody, one way or the other. Does that not sound like slavery? If one stands up for oneself and there's some kind of a punishment because of it, even if it's a covert, passive aggressive style, still the same shit. Is that not what slavery was? If any Then it was a lashing. Now it's withholding and restrictions and entity torture and torment. If anybody stands up for themselves and not lick ass for kibbles and bits. It's met with a punishment, ostracism, stalking and harassment, i.e., fake ass community watch illegal bullshit activity. Is that not a form of punishment? If you stand up for yourself, you speak up, if you advocate. And then there's what? A passive aggressive. Because see, like I said, it's a different time. So it happens, this manifestation is different. It's not as overt in nature. Withholding is the same thing. That's abuse. But the passivity, the passive aggressiveness is pretending like it's just plausible deniability. Because you're someone who dared to speak. If there's a problem, if you're not okay with something, you're advocating, you're speaking as where maybe others don't have the same courage and boldness, or they don't feel like you should. Let me pause, freeze frame on that statement. In the homeless community, the displaced, the differently housed, bitch, I'm saying, the displaced community, the coordinated entry system programs across, and I'm talking across now. I'm not identifying any one sector, but I am going to say this. It's all ran by individuals, no? And all these various individuals all have various different life situations. No, because they're people, they're human beings, they're people just like you and I, with lives, with children, with grandchildren, with responsibilities, you name it. Now here's where it's getting interesting. For whatever reason, in a lot of cases, they look at the people who come into these systems, these things, and it's a wide array of folks. I can only imagine. I get that, but here's where I'm going. I think that sometimes people, let's say their life is hard. The people that are operating these various things, let's say, shit is rough, and maybe some of these jobs, maybe it's not cutting it, right? And they're working hard. Maybe some of them working themselves sick, possibly. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. To be able to take care of and maintain, even if they're doing that, their lives. And so then they'll look at the people who come into these systems, and it's real easy to sit back and then kind of go, shit, they ain't paying no rent, and shit, and woo, and kind of start feeling some kind of way. And maybe low key, maybe want to see them suffer and struggle a little bit, because it's like, how the hell I'm just trying to give you all context of what could possibly go through some of these people's minds. Because I'm going to give you the real about this side of it after this. Okay. But I can imagine, it's kind of like, they land someone, and these things be, they're funded. So it's not quite what it seems. It's funded on a larger scale there, okay? But the people still, okay, that operate these things have various different views and opinions. And I can only imagine with they feel about some of the tenants and occupants. It's like, so, they get this, they ain't got to pay nothing, no bills. They got somewhere to stay. They got food. Shoot, I wish, because I have to work 8 hours. I got to work 13 jobs, bitch. And, yeah. And so they may feel some kind of way about, the tenants that are there, especially tenants who like to advocate for themselves, or tenants who are trying to really maximize and take care of themselves, and as well as, meet program things. But it's like, it's almost like a silent, I'm gonna keep saying it, toxic abuse culture. This desire to see, if you're in this situation, you should be exasperating yourself, and that's sick to me. And but I can see where that would come from if you are people that you're working, and these jobs are 30 jobs, and uh you see it now. Well, now I'm gonna give the other side. Now I'm gonna give the side of the residents, the tenants. Now here's what's fascinating: ain't nobody trying to live under them goddamn conditions. What people tend to forget as they look at if I didn't have to pay, you don't have no fucking privacy. You don't have any real freedom. You have a fucking curfew, nigga. Let's just keep this shit on a real. This ain't cute. Any motherfucker could be walking up in your shit, touching you and your kid's shit. You jump through hoops for people bullshitting you all goddamn day, going this place, that place, this place, that place, to fulfill their administrative bureaucracy. All living conditions aren't always as kosher. People forget that when they're griping. Also, that a lot of not see, because you can't typecast it all. There's plenty of tenants in these situations. I guarantee you, there's plenty of them that they're like, they complain, give me your job, but that ain't gonna happen. Then give me your job. Okay, let's you want to trade, bitch? You want to trade? You want to trade? Okay, give me your job, your car. Go ahead and half at it. Now you got free rent. You got to pay nothing. Go ahead, be happy. But you don't get to keep your circumstance. Because see, if you want to trade places, then we're fucking trading places. And a lot of these folks don't like the idea of seeing, again, it's this really weird, stereotypical, toxic abuse culture. You're not, for you to be seeming to be serious about whatever you're doing, you almost have to be tethered and worn and just exasperated altogether, working yourself sick, and still ain't get yourself a house, bitch. And now it ain't shit done at all, and ain't gonna be done, because now your whole ass is in the fucking hospital. And it's almost like, and I said some of the workers, it's almost like, because again, people are dealing with shit. We can't assume that just because people be working these jobs that mean they ain't got some not okay shit. Sometimes people are mad. They got their job, but they're bitter about it. Does that make sense? It's like they got the job, they mad about it, they're bitter about it, and then if they see any resident or tenant come through in these places seeming to be too comfortable, which I don't know why comfortable is all of a sudden a fucking bad word. All of a sudden comfortable is a fucking 4-letter word now. Comfortable is now equaling laziness, apathy, and for somebody like me who can navigate both sides, I do get that crisis situations, interim situations, that's supposed to lead to permanent, and I get that that's the whole premise. But just because interim is interim doesn't mean it shouldn't be comfortable. Because we want healthy so that we can have these people motivated and inspired and healthy and vibrant to get the fuck on about it in a jokingly way, in a joking way, because the goal is it is essentially assisting towards that. But a part of that is it shouldn't be a 4-letter word, and everyone's gauge is different. You see how we have to be really careful there? You got people ranging from 20 to 80. You got people, with all kinds of different, maybe physical ailments that everybody may not know about, and it's not really everybody's business. You have people who have different all around circumstances, which dictates how they can navigate a program. So it should not be coming off as then they're not serious. Sometimes that not serious statements from people who are jealous, or people who have a problem for whatever the reason is with, for whatever. Like I said, you got people out here working 30 jobs and they tired and they mad about it. Most they paycheck getting ate up if they have churn. Good gravy, God, if they have churn. You see it? And then they will assume, but this ain't it shouldn't be looked upon that way. And I was like, please, let's make this shit plain, nigga. The displaced population becomes honored to have, but it's mistaken. It's like this ain't the Taj Mahal. It's crisis, it's emergency, depending on the situation. And so why am I sharing all that? Because unfortunately there's going to always be several folks that have to, a team has to operate these systems. That's the only way it's going to work. But with that comes people with all of their opinions. And if they don't, y'all know. And I'm not saying that the residents or any tenants are perfect, don't have their things. That's not where I'm coming from. I'm not saying that the residents or their children don't have their things like any other situation in life. I'm not saying that either. I'm simply saying these families, you know, the diversity of families that ends up in these situations, these individuals, families. Oh, we have no idea. No idea. We don't know what their life has been. We could assume, and a lot of that is filtered through some of the shit I've been talking about. How, yeah. Well, I work 30 jobs. There it is. That already give me what filter they're using right there. They don't know. Some of these folks could have possibly worked circles around something. They wouldn't know it. They wouldn't know it because what they're doing is looking at that person's current situation. Abuse culture, lacking true compassion and empathy in people's thresholds. If you're not in somebody's body, all things being equal, you really don't. You just don't. I don't care if your cousin had an autistic kid, bitch. I don't care. I don't care. That's like saying all black people are the same. You don't know what happened to that autistic kid versus that autistic kid. You don't know. You don't know what they're doing to them now because your mind ain't even stretching far enough, nigga, to understand that there's far more to shit than we know. But it's not you, narcissism. It's not you. It's not you. This thirst and need to see people all worn and tethered is scary to me. It is. It's like I'm delighted to see in everything I've ever done. And I've done quite a few things. Got quite a bit of education behind my ass. And been in a couple few arenas. And I'm going to say, it has always brought me delight in any kind of service I provided. If people were smiling, comfortable, that was for me, that was what made me put gold stars on my own self-proclaimed refrigerator. That's how I got down. Because it meant, it's like, oh, okay. I am glad. I don't feel slighted because maybe my life is rough right now and I need you to suffer some more for me so I could feel like not less, whatever. Yes, I can actually equally be struggling, and yes, and still I'm glad because that's what I'm here for. That is my role. That is why I took on this career. That's why I did this. That is why I took this job. This is why I didn't take it because of my personal shit, bitch. And I need to see people suffer, bitch. I took this because I desire and like to see people fulfilled and happy and comfortable, and that I, whatever way I'm able to serve in my service that assists with that, then great. I don't project. I understand that they're not me. I assess accordingly. And I'm happy. You're smiling. Okay, good. Yeah. Is it comfortable? Yeah. It's called the service industry, baby. Hospitalities. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Because my personal shit, there's really no room for it there. I have to, that's why I'm supposed to do my own personal counseling for. I'm supposed to go to my own counseling, bitch. I'm supposed to be doing all my own shit. So that way, I'm not vomiting this in my business or in my role. Even my frustrations, I had jobs where they try helping us to deal with, like, okay, because when you're frustrated with the customers, different things, different jobs I've had offered a lot of that to try to say, hey, so that, so you can still bitch, because at the end of the day, this is really, this is a service. So your frustrations with your personal life, your frustrations with, you know, a customer that's upset, y'all, yeah. And the coordinated entry system really shouldn't be any different. Maybe one day, depending. Maybe 5 years down the line. Who knows? Somewhere in the universe. Maybe that'll come through. Because that shouldn't be any different. And I just have my own personal opinion about that is anytime you deal with government or anything free or anything of that nature, there's a quiet, unspoken, it's unspoken vibe of shut up is free. Because that's how most of us was raised. Anyway, hell, if I survive this, I ain't gonna even say that. I already know the deal. I already know where this is going for me. But depending on what direction I end up taking, maybe, maybe I end up doing something like that where it's these people. Maybe I get enough money, shit, my own money, so I don't have to worry about the bureaucracy of the motherfucking what you call it and shit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So that I can give some five star treatment. So that just because folks are coming in maybe off of domestic violence or they're coming in, off of some people I know it's drugs and alcohol and got them, off track and, that, or if it's none of that, it's somebody that's just, hit hard times and going no contact with toxic narcissists and having to restart their lives. Love, I had to put that in there. Um, that they get that and that they feel that because they possibly already feel bad enough. And then you got industries that's trying to make these people feel even worse or create even more ugliness for people who have already possibly lost everything. That their children maybe I will create something like that and give them give them the treatment that I would want. Oh, good old proverbs, huh, that nobody lives by. Give them that 5 star, make them feel that way, be accountable the same way I expect them to be accountable to me. so that trust could be built, because trust is not good. Trust, yeah. Dealing with folks in these situations, trust has to be. Why should they? Why should these people be trusting folks? I want somebody to be honest about that. Why? Especially if their encounters with them are really unstable. The dynamics. Why should they trust? A people who have already obviously gone through something already to land them See, a part of this life skill teaching stuff includes what I'm actually talking about, believe it or not. Because talk is cheap. And a part of what happened to a lot of folks is we get out there in life and people future fake, gameplay, gaslight, word salad, bullshit, and be setting them up. There are people's spotty communication, no follow through. You got to chase them down for the simplest things. Over and over and over again. Why should these populations trust these people if they're not showing themselves to be trustworthy? They're already vulnerable. They're already being put in a vulnerable situation. No privacy. Like I said, these folks are already, it's nothing to covet. That's why people really need to just go ahead and stop complaining, bitch. And it's your life, and you got 30 jobs, and just that's your life. But that whole, that ain't nothing to be coveted. These people's privacy and autonomy has virtually been almost altogether stripped. You can't have a private thought. Some of y'all out there, you get to have fights with your loved ones and your boyfriends and girlfriends and children, and ain't nobody scrutinizing the hell out of every fucking waking moment of it. You get to have a bad day and don't have everybody all up in you get up. Because you don't got to deal every day with motherfuckers if you don't want to in your house. These people got their churn, all kinds of shit they dealing with, and they got us. Yeah. There's nothing to covet. You can go outside your apartment and leave Buki inside for 2 minutes and hold the monitor in your hand, the TV, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, y'all, technology is a motherfucker. Now you can do a whole lot of shit. You stand by the door, whatever it is, nothing to be covered. These people, these populations got a lot that they're dealing with on top of them trying to program within a program that often seem to set people up for failure. When there's too much rigidity, then that's going to be the result if there's too much rigidity in some cases. So then when you have somebody that one of these residents or tenants, occupants that says, okay, I got a self-care. I only got one of these. I ain't got no motherfuckers lining up. I don't have an entourage. I gotta find a way to squeeze some pleasure out this bullshit. And there are people who feel like folks that are in these situations shouldn't get to have any of that. Their every waking hour is to be dedicated to, I call it walking in circles, because sometimes it's a lot of busy nothingness. It's looking like it's productive, but it's not. So it's a lot of chaos, a lot of busy nothingness, not really getting nowhere. It's just it's looking like, but it's like let this be fruitful efforts, fruitful, strategic, productive, in balance, so that the person can continue on in the longevity to do all of the things that they're required to do until they get to their goal. You got crazy. And then some people are being stalked and harassed. It's a lot that be going on with these people's lives.
Stop it. You're doing too much.
Turn on inside. I'll deal with the nasty words later. Now, y'all heard that? Well, on this journey. This is stuff that I've had to come. It took me a long time, head spinning, but I had to come to grips with. You know, the weird shit goes on at night, the weird shit they do to you when you're sleeping, and what they do to especially those that are like my son. I've had to come to grips with that, and that's something that I am definitely dealing with and addressing. These are a bunch of pervs, energetic pervs, and they don't want the world to know. But I do, and there are many others who do. What they do, and then, you know, the swept under the rug, like, you know, they're just disabled shit. The easiest scam, the greatest scam of all time, is doing shit to people like him. And make, you know, it's just sweeping everything, you know, it's their disability. Basically torturing his kind, siphoning, doing all kinds of weirdo psychotic shit. And then when they manifest the symptoms, and then the world looks at them, but they're the ones that's being tortured and tormented, and the world is just ignorant. When they see them, you know, manifest, outburst, different things like that. They got so many people doing all kind of weird shit. Don't make no sense. Playing with their energies. Don't make no sense. Beating to them entities, and them entities is going to turn on some of these people, and that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Demon years is going to come for some of these same people that's been working for them. And the same entities. Well, that's the way the goddamn cookie crumbles. Ain't no honor amongst dishonor. Should have known there was something wrong if they want you to call suffrage so they can get a supply. That mean they can end up getting, they just, yeah, it could be you. Maybe they prefer the good shit, you know, filet mignon. And maybe you just the hamburger version. They'll take it though if they have to. I'm just kidding. But I'm not. Okay, that is, there's truth to what I just said. Anywho, I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna clean up my energy some more and do some other energetic stuff here in the background as my son sleeps. Because I got a surge of energy that I plan to use. Good and plenty, bitch. To work on my energy. And his. What the fuck they doing? So do some shit. 4:30 in the morning. Anyway. I got a surge. But I listened to a lot of frequencies today. I went in. Soon as we got back in, I was like, I'm going hard. Let's do it. Let's rock. But these motherfuckers crazy. I've accepted the fact that these are some crazy motherfuckers. That's hell-bent on doing what's been done lifetime after lifetime, like this lady that you're looking at, which is me. Probably. I have to add that in there because, you know, I can't provide the facts. So it's just probably in a different timeline. Because her story sure is kind of weird. And she kind of looked like me. Her eyes are just lighter. But when they told the story of her, they said her eyes were actually, I don't know why it looked like that. They said that her eyes are like amber, dark amber brown, but they would turn like with the light, they could change colors with the lighting or whatever. So her eyes was possibly darker than this. But neither here nor there. So familiar. Look at the lines in them cheeks by her nose, though. Oh. Look at this, that forehead. Oh, I wish there was a way I could find out. That would be so fascinating. Oh my God. I think I would flip out, but it's like, whoa. So I got stuffed in this meat suit, nigga. They took my ass. They took my, just put me in this meat suit. Here I am again. I want to do it one more time. Well, I'm going to finish it. I'll be shamed. This is a long video too. This is a 2-hour one. I think earlier I had an hour. It's a 2-hour video. Surely, y'all surely ain't gonna hear from me today later. I got lots of stuff to do in the background here. With my boy, with my son, gotta figure some shiz. Got some things going on. If you find yourself drawn to certain things and wondering about certain things, chances are it's probably a reason for it. And I'm just gonna say, I encourage you to continue to work on your frequencies, things that can help you as you're ready, dealing with the subconscious, dealing with any fears and traumas and phobias and your health. I mean, all these things are going to be your defense. Because otherwise it's like you'll eventually get exhausted with the constant return this and return this and this and that. It's like there's a point to where that ain't gonna even matter. That's my whole point. That's not gonna even matter. And that's what they're scared of. They want us in that endless, because that's still energy exchange. That's still the same. It's exasperating, because it's gonna always be. It's like weeds. You pull up one. It's endless. When one batch, I swear it is, one batch, because that's what we're dealing with now, ain't it? Guarantee it. The motherfuckers who did the shit, it's probably the same motherfuckers who trying to do it now. In different bodies. You see it? So you kill one, you shit, it don't matter. They die off in the next batch, the next generation. So it's us working through that. And, I get it if you feel pissed and whatever, your situation, because they exploit things. They banked on me with my son. I'm telling you, I know what they did this time with this carnation. I'm telling you, I know for sure. I know exactly. Because they knew without that boy, they know, real talk, nigga. Real talk. Minus him, they know she don't give a fuck. She do not. She do not. No, she don't. No, she don't. The only thing is her son. She don't. That's why they do what they do to him. And that's why they use them, because they're like, otherwise, shit. You liable to get your eyebrows liable to lie on fire. And then she'll walk out and get her clothes and wrap it on a stick and say hashtag hobo life and shit. They know that shit. You know. But there's, you all are finding creative ways to deal with all that. So that's amazing. I will maybe follow up with who this woman is, maybe do another video, find out like her full name if they're providing that. I know this was in Louisiana, I believe. I'll have to look into some other stuff. Okay. But her lover was killed as they traveled, ended up dead. Then they captured her. And from there, she kept trying to get people to help her. They wouldn't. She'd find somebody, a doctor that came to help the slaves, tried to help her. His ass disappeared. She wrote to like the American whatever and different shit. So like she was really sophisticated and was trying to, tell her story and help herself. And that's classic. You got a lot on the table, and this is the narcissism of the world that we live in. Reduce this woman like a package of meat that you buy at the grocery store. These people ought to be shamed.